Welcome, everyone, to the March edition of Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz. We're very glad you could join us. Archbishop, we're here in the St. Xavier Library.
Wow.
This school celebrated 150 years last year. They serve over 1,350 students these days, and we're on the road, as we've been doing the last couple months. The show has 3 segments. We're going to be talking, in fact, Archbishop, you'll be interviewing Dr. Perry Sangali, the president of St. X. We're going to talk about the Chrism Mass, since we're in Lent and that very special celebration coming up later on this month. But first, our first segment, we have a special guest, Archbishop. We have Sister Nancy Gerth, who's the Director of Vocations for the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, but you also serve on our committee that's looking at the World Year of Consecrated Life, which is really the topic for today. So Sister, thank you for being with us.
Welcome, Sister Nancy.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
How about a little bit about you first? I know you're a Louisville native. Tell us about yourself.
I grew up not far from here. I attended Our Mother of Sorrows for grade school and Presentation Academy for high school.
Very good.
I was very influenced by the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth, and then went on to attend University of Louisville for my undergraduate and graduate degrees.
Terrific, terrific. Vocation work, how did that happen?
I was working in Fort Lauderdale at Covenant House for my full-time ministry, and I was invited by our community to start doing part-time ministry and vocation work there. And did that for about 4 years, and then when I finished up my ministry at Covenant House, moved back to Kentucky and was discerning about full-time ministry and invited to do that. So have been doing full-time vocation ministry for 7 years now.
That's great.
Brian, I know Sister Nancy has done a great job with that work, because I know how much you've been involved with our vocation office for the Archdiocese. So did you want to talk about the
World Year of Consecrated Life? Yeah.
Let me begin by just saying, Brian, thanks for the intro. Pope Francis, he gave us this great year, a whole year, for us to pray for and celebrate the gift of consecrated life. And maybe you can fill us in just on from your own perspectives on how that is really a gift to all of us, especially here in the Archdiocese of Louisville.
Sure. Pope Francis wrote a beautiful letter in November and outlined some main points about what we could do this year. And some of the points were really focused on 3 areas. One was to remember the past, all the gifts that religious life has been for all of the church and the world. The other point was the present, to celebrate the passion that religious life is and continues to be today, and the future, hope in the future of religious life. So those were the main points that the Pope focused on in his letter, and there's so much rich information in that letter to give all of us to meditate on and to really celebrate and to give us hope to think about in that letter.
Sister, the Holy Father is constantly talking about an authentic witness, making Jesus Christ present through our lives.
Yes.
I can't imagine a better way to do that than through the lives of the women and men who dedicate their lives in consecrated life.
Yes. One of the things that he pointed out with that is he talks about women and men religious being communion. And I think it's so poignant in this world today, being so divided and having so much mistrust and division, that we can be communion and be such a model of community.
Yeah, people of communion.
Yes,
people of communion, which is the presence of Christ in our life and in our world.
That's such a rich symbol for us.
Yeah.
Now, what will help our viewers know, what will the Catholic community here in Louisville see because the year is going on?
We've already celebrated Open House, and that was a very successful event. And for the summer, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, along with all of the leadership conferences of women and men religious, have designated other events. One is for the Summer of Service. And here in the Archdiocese, we are having a Habitat for Humanity build. and we are going to be building a house, and it's going to be called Wake Up the World House. So that will be happening this summer, and we're very excited about that, to work with people to join the Women and Men Religious of Louisville to build a house.
Very practical.
Wow.
That's great.
Wow.
Yes.
Brian, in February, a little time ago, Sister Nancy and I were together for the Jubilee Mass. And we celebrated one of the sisters of her community.
Alice Teresa.
That's right, Alice Teresa Woods, celebrated her 80th year.
80 years, wow.
In consecrated life, and still is vibrant and working hard in her own personal ministries now. So what a great gift that is.
Sisters, let's imagine the other end of the year. Building the house is such a practical example, and the open houses where people got to visit the communities, the Jubilee celebration. We get to the end of the year and look back. What do you hope would have occurred?
I think the greatest hope for all of us is that people will have greater access to our communities, and that our communities will deepen our authenticity with our charisms, and that those who are contemplating a call to religious life will maybe have another opportunity to deepen that call and deepen an opportunity to connect with us.
Wow.
So it's an awareness, but also, I guess, a personal conversion response to what's going on. I know the Catholic people in this diocese just love the religious communities that they interact with. We're so blessed to have several of them here, based here, or their roots here anyway, as they've spread around the world. I know your community alone, with your significant work in other countries, Belize and India, and all the various places you serve, your community serves. So I think in a lot of ways, for the Catholic people, this is a chance for us to celebrate. So I want to thank you for your contribution to helping us as the Catholic people celebrate together, Archbishop. I think it's
and I think also, Brian and Sister Nancy, what a great way for people who are viewing this to say, gee, I'm a young person, I'm contemplating following Christ. Maybe the consecrated life is something that God is calling me to. So I hope that vocations for the future will continue. We need the witness of consecrated life. I also thank you, Sister, for your wonderful presence.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be back in just a few minutes, and Archbishop Kurtz is going to interview Dr. Singali.